will also help officers of the LNFS from falling objects during firefighting. The donation was received by the LNFS Deputy Director for Administration and Deputy Director for Operations, Colonel Emmanuel Fa and Erin Tisdale, respectively, on behalf of the institution. Colonel Fa thanked Mr. Baku for the intervention to the Liberian National Fire Service, stating that the donation is timely and welcoming. He promised that the management team will use the donated items for the intended purpose. The LNFS acting director, via a phone interview with a reporter, called on patriotic citizens in other parts of the world to give back to the country, particularly the Liberia National Fire Service. According to him, the institution faces potential challenges, including inadequate budgetary and logistical support for its effective operations across the country. The system of rice intensification in West Africa, RICUS, in collaboration with the Community of Agriculture, CHAP, has launched a 2-day farmer engagement training in Bome County. This initiative, which is part of the national government's arrest agenda, aims to enhance rice production in Liberia through climate-smart agriculture. The initiative brought together over 15 smallholder rice farmers from across Bome County and was held under the theme Fighting Hunger for Sustainable Peace. The event focuses on equipping farmers with advanced techniques to improve climate resilience in rice production. Samuel Bakole, the assistant program coordinator for RICUS, provided an overview of the organization's activities in Liberia. He explained that RICUS is dedicated to improving rice production by implementing a system of rice intensification. That's intensification, SRR, a set of farming practices that increases, yet while reducing water usage and inputs like fertilizers and pesticides. The ongoing project aims to improve climate resilience in rice cultivation, particularly in targeted community. And away from home, an attempt by inmates to break out of a high security prison in the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kinshasa, has led to the deaths of 129 people, the authorities say. Interior Minister Jacquemin Shabani said that 24 prisoners had died of bullet wounds after warning shots were fired in the early hours of Monday morning. Most of the others had died from suffocation as a result of a crush during the breakout at Makala prison. Despite reports of mass casualties emerging on Monday, the government had initially said that only 2 people had died. 7 years ago, at least 4,000 inmates escaped from the same prison, the country's largest. On Monday, people living near the prison spoke about hearing gunshots, but attempts by journalists to reach the site were thwarted by police officers who have blocked access to the area. Blaze News Bulletin.
Stephen Tyler with Bulletin of News. Indeed, he returns later with the passion of life sports. This is Blaze News Point, a 45-minute presentation coming to you live from the Blaze Communications Network in Rehab, Painesville, outside of Liberia. And today is Wednesday, September 4, 2024. My name is Valentine Colley, presenting this May week edition of the program. Headlines: Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia, Central, raises concerns over President Joseph Boakai's recent appointment. Internal Affairs Minister Francis Yumari halts the bidding process initiated by Grand Bassa County administration regarding the sale of stockpile of iron ore near the port of Buchanan City. Liberia National Police (LNP) arrested 28-year-old journalist for illegal possession of firearm. And at least 129 killed and several wounded in an attempt by inmates to break out of a high security prison in Kinshasa, the Democratic Republic of Congo. Coming up next are the voices of those behind the news, but we take this break to be right back. Welcome back. The Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia Central has raised concerns over the legality and transparency of recent appointment made by President Joseph Boakai to the complaint, appeal, and review panels that scope of the Public Procurement and Concession Commission (PPCC) addressing a press conference in Monrovia on Tuesday, September 3, 2024. Center Executive Director Anderson Miami pointed out that there were important procedural gaps in the appointment process.
On August 29, 2004, President Boakai appointed 5 individuals to the Complaint Appeal and Review Panel of the Public Procurement and Concessions Commission. The appointment is provided for in the amended and restated Public Procurement and Concessions Commission Act of 2010. Those appointed include Councillor Sonny E. Nelson Amakash, Councillor Vincent Smith, Councillor Morris David, Mr. Ezekiel F. Yuma, and Mr. Michael C.G. Following a thorough review of those appointed and considering the findings of an independent panel established in line with the PPCC Act of 2010, Center has observed a significant procedural and legal breach by the President over the appointment of the officials in question. Appointments to said positions shall be derived from the competitive process held under the auspices of the Public Procurement Concession Commission with a list of 10 candidates submitted to the President.
Meanwhile, Anderson Miami is calling on President Joseph Boakai to record the appointments made outside the competitive process and wants the Liberian leader to adhere to the rule of law and demonstrate a genuine commitment to anti-corruption and transparency in the country.
Center calls on President Boakai to record the appointment of individuals never independently vetted and recommended for appointment by the panel, in line with relevant provisions of the amended PPCC Act of 2010. We believe that this will somehow demonstrate a commitment to the rule of law and a fight against corruption, in deeds and not in words. The President must respect the independence and sanctity of public integrity institutions and refrain from actions that have the proclivity to undermine public confidence in their leadership and work. The Complaints Appeal and Review Panel of the Public Procurement and Concessions Commission. It is important that the decisions of the President and other public officials support and strengthen integrity building, transparency, and accountability efforts in Liberia and not otherwise.
The voice of Alex, that's Anderson Miami. He's the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia's Executive Director. The Executive Director of the National Public Health Institute of Liberia, NPHIL, has announced active cases of the Mpox virus, out of which 7 suspected ones have been taken to an isolated unit as they are being clinically monitored to avoid further spread of the virus. The NPHIL board, in consultation with the Ministry of Health, disclosed the setting up of a national incident management system as the second step to tackle the virus.
7 suspected cases presently. When that happens, we also follow and do contact tracing, meaning this person must have come in contact with other people, and that's how the virus spreads. They came in contact with the mother, the aunt, the father, and many other relatives. So we are following all those contacts to see their status. What we have gathered is that the mother has also begun to show symptoms of the monkeypox viral infection. They most likely come down with Mpox. The rest of the samples are on their way coming, and when those samples are tested, the results from them will be made available to you again during the course of disease that is captivating the whole world now. We are taking experience from Ebola and COVID in order to be as proactive as we can. And that is what the National Public Health Institute has been doing since then.
He's Dr. Dubai Yan, the Executive Director of the National Public Health Institute of Liberia. The Liberia Intellectual Property Office, in collaboration with the African Regional Intellectual Property Organization, has begun a 3-day deliberation aimed at enhancing the capacity of medium and small enterprises on intellectual property rights. Speaking at a ceremony marking the beginning of the deliberation, LEPU's Director General Gamen Kobui said small and medium enterprises are the backbone of the Liberian economy and they should respect the rights of innovators. She encouraged them to learn to embrace intellectual property as the cornerstone of their businesses.
Today's workshop, which will last for 3 days, reflects our shared commitment to enhancing the power of intellectual property to drive economic growth and development for SMEs in Liberia. This is why we have partnered with the African Regional Intellectual Property Organization, ARIPO, to protect innovation and enhance their capacity. As we gather here today under the auspices of the African Regional Intellectual Property Organization, ARIPO, and the Liberia Intellectual Property Office, LIPO, we are embarking on a significant journey to unlock the transformative potentials of intellectual property IP in small and medium enterprises. SME are the backbone of Liberia economy. They are vital engines of job creation, innovation, and economic resilience. However, for these enterprises to thrive in an increasingly competitive global market, they must understand the importance of embracing intellectual property as cornerstone of their businesses. In order for SMEs to understand and to market their intellectual property, the logo, the trademark, the trade name, the creativities of the artists, you need to understand what is intellectual property. And not only in Liberia, it's intellectual property across the globe. Now we are into different worlds. By promoting and leveraging IP assets such as trademark, SMEs not only safeguarding their intellectual property or businesses, also enhancing their competitiveness and market value. At LIPO, we are aware of the critical role that intellectual property can play in the success of our SMEs. This is why we have been working diligently to support the businesses in navigating the IP landscape.
That was the voice of Madam Gamen Koboy, and she is the Director General of the Liberia Intellectual Property Office. Police in Mobala, Grand Cape Mount County have sent to court 2 women in connection to the mysterious disappearance of a 2-year-old child in the county. According to our reporter, the mother of the missing child took the child for vacation at her grandmother's place, where the child went missing. Here is our Grand Cape Mount County correspondent, Mark Rogers, with the rest of the story.
Talking about a dear child to see her grandmother, and unfortunately for her, they believe that the child was with the child disappeared of the person for the past week. The resident of that community tried to locate the child to no avail. So the case was reported to the police. Bambala provided the mess that it was then were charged, and then to Mana River Congo Maestro Court. So as we speak today will be their first appearance to the court. From what Naima Meska told me, the mother of the child, it took 3 days. She actually left from an area called Teresa to Gangama, a crossing point where believe that the child grandmother is. There where they took her, in the process she was with another entity, and she was in the care of the aunt when she got missing 3 days ago. So the community and resident of that community been trying to locate her, but to no avail. So the case was reported to the police on this gone Friday, and that's how the police took issue and decided to send the mother and the caretaker of the child. So they sent them to the Maestro Court. When the incident happened, this is something that is heartbroken because most of the residents are non-good certified. This is a child that the mother brought to just see her grandmother, and unfortunately, the child gone missing. So the residents are not too pleased with the situation. Perhaps they are staying in search. I just don't know what has gone wrong. But the caretaker of the child, who is that Joanna, for the issue will be able to really say what went wrong. Yeah, the child was under the custody of the grandmother with an aunt. For disappearing, mysteriously disappearing, this is not a very question we can, but for the manner, a child of that age to get missing, this is the first of it can. There are other children who been getting missing, but 5 years older than the child that went missing over the weekend.
Mark Rogers is our Grand Cape Mount County correspondent filling us in with that information. A United States-based Liberian Prince Bago has donated 36 firefighting helmets to the Liberian National Fire Service to enhance its public safety capacity. The donation was made Monday, September 2, 2024, at the National Fire Service headquarters in Monrovia. Mr. Bago said the helmets will enhance the safety of firefighters on the fire grounds, adding that the materials will also protect officers of the Liberian National Fire Service from falling objects during firefighting. The donation was received by the Liberian National Fire Service Deputy Director for Administration and Deputy Director for Operations, Colonel Emmanuel Farr and Edwin Tisdale, respectively, on behalf of the institution.
On behalf of the leadership of the Liberian National Fire Service, led by Director G. Watson Danforth, who is currently in the United States of America, and I am serving as the acting director, we would like to extend our thanks and appreciation to Mr. Prince Bagon, the Liberian who is based in America, for donating 36 firefighting helmets to the Liberian National Fire Service. And we extend a delicate donation in good faith. We welcome it, and today our firefighter, they were happy after receiving this delegate donation from Mr. Prince Bagon. We noticed that when fire outbreak, when we took office, the fire outbreak were on the increase. It was so much alarming. And Mr. Prince Bagon saw it necessary when he went in America. He decided to see our best to talk to some of his colleagues. We use it for the intended purpose. So we hope that other Liberians in the diaspora, it's time for you to give back to your country, to be precise, to the Liberian National Fire Service, because you know that the fire service is constrained. Budgetary, they are constrained in terms of logistics and others. Unfortunately, we are constrained. So we would like to other Liberians to see our best to join. Mr. Prince Gagon, also everything that you can help the Liberian National Fire Service with, we will wholeheartedly accept it.
That was a voice of the Deputy Director for Operations at the Liberian National Fire Service, Colonel Emmanuel Farr. Well, if you just join us, this is a reminder that you tune to the midweek edition of Blaze News Point, a 45-minute news presentation that highlights important happenings from Liberia, Africa, and the rest of our world. It comes away from the News and Public Affairs Department of Blaze Communications Network in Rehab, Painesville, outside the nation's capital, Monrovia. Today is September 4, 2024 on a Wednesday, and my name is Valentine Colley presenting. In the headlines this morning, Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia Centel raises concerns over President Joseph Boakai's recent appointments. Internal Affairs Minister Francis Nyumani halts the bidding process initiated by the Grand Bassa County Administration regarding the sale of stockpile of iron ore near the port city of Buchanan. Liberia National Police LMP arrests a 28-year-old journalist for illegally possessing firearm in Monrovia. Elsewhere, at least 129 killed and several wounded in an attempt by inmates to break out of a high-security prison in Kinshasa, the Democratic Republic of Congo. We're taking this break. This time around, when we return, we rejoin Stephen Talo for the Passion of Life Sport.
So today, Liberia national senior team leaves for Togo to honor the ongoing AFCON qualifiers for 2025. Now, the Lone Star of Liberia will kickstart their 2025 AFCON qualifiers campaign against Togo on September 6th, and will welcome Algeria on the 10th of September at the Samarkand Sports Complex. And there are 7 overseas players invited by coach Mario Marinica ahead of the Liberia doubleheader match against Togo and that of Algeria. Away and home schedule for 6th and 10th September respectively. Samson Kogi Doe Jr. is invited. Murphy Oscar Dole Emmanuel Ernest Peterson, that's Peter Wilson, Mohammed Sangari, Mahon Kenneth, and Divine Wanake. So quickly, all those players invited are expected to arrive in Togo today, according to Coach Marina. Now, away from Liberia with latest news, as you know, international break is also one of the players are visiting the countries for qualification. Phil Foden, Cole Palmer, and Oli Watkins have withdrawn from the England squad for their upcoming Nations League fixture. Manchester City for Foden, who was recently named PFA Player of the Year, was called up by England boss Lee Castley, but did not join up with the squad because of illness. Chelsea forward Palmer and Aston Villa striker Watkins both reported for duty at St. George Pub, but have returned to their respective clubs to continue their rehabilitation from ongoing issues. England face the Republic of Ireland in Dublin. That's on Saturday, 7 September, before hosting Finland at Wembley 3 days later. And Valentin, that's the sports.
Stephen Tyler with the passion of live sports indeed is another regular feature on Blaze News Point. Back to other stories, the Sataras initiative through the office of president, that's the president with support from the National Polo Authority, has donated academic materials to public schools across Liberia. Speaking during a donation of the items, a representative from the National Polo Authority said the donation is in quest to provide and promote education for school-going kids.
People that are working. My boss came there, they call him Seku. He is settling from Ponamole Bomu supplying Kema, supplying back. People that are working. My boss came there, they call him Seku. He is settling from Ponamole Bomu supplying Kema, supplying Bagolu, Ukolo, as far as Nigeria. All over, all the children get small thing. But he said, I will help. It is a time working class. So he said, I will help. So the Ende Santara, and my boss said, Seku, they want to say, okay, Papi, let's accept. So they come to your place. You have to tell Shineo. JB said he has an agenda. JB said he has a lot of things he wants to do. But among those things, he get one that they call education. So we look at more than rest. We said the education part of it, we want to help with it. So today, our being here is to give you a gift on behalf of President Joseph Nima Boakai. This bag is from the president. You see the carpet book? You all seen it? Yeah. How many on it? Each of you will receive a book bag. In this bag, we got sharpeners, we got pencils, we got eraser, we got pen and all. The reason we're giving you a printed carpet book for, so you can put, you can see something or 10 something in one carpet book. We made sure that we get your printed carpet book so you can reconcile. Yesterday, we went to Cape Mount. We're all in the counties. Today, I think you put the 7 or 8 school now come to take their school into Puto. So we want to say we love you so much and we care for you. This is just a beginning. This is just a few months after election, right? We're still trying to do more so that plenty of people will come. So I want you to really learn to pay attention. They don't go to school because they are going to school. And next time, the teacher will say, if we come again next time, it can be next month, it can be December, Christmas, whatever. The person will do well. You will get excellent gift from Joseph Parker.
Those were the voices of some representatives from the National Polo Authority doing a donation to school-going pupils across Liberia. The executive director of the local civil society organization Hope for Nature Arcade wants Liberia's wetland preserved against misuse. Speaking at the organization's fundraising award held at the City of God International Church in Painesville, Honor Wamagabo stated that wanton misuse of wetland over the years has caused serious environmental issues. She believes wetlands could be used as sites for tourist attraction, thereby earning the country millions of dollars in revenue generation. Here now her remark.
Hope for Nature Arcade was established in 2019 with the aim of introducing conservation and environmental education to younger children at the age of 3 to 17 years in Liberia who have limited knowledge and no understanding of nature and also the need to keep our environment clean and healthy. We believe that we cannot root out the fact that illegal logging and mining activities are going on in some parts of our country. We cannot also root out the fact that bushmeat hunting of protected species is still going on in some parts of our country. We cannot also root out the fact that major wetlands, the one we call swamps, are being encroached on through the construction of residential homes and business sectors, and also being used as garbage cans. Individuals with children are carrying on these actions, and if no action is taken soon, the children will follow the same trend. When children are informed from childhood that harmful human activities on the environment can lead to long-term impact of negativity. For example, climate change, flooding, those that reside in Sharia have witnessed serious flooding where we even saw canoes on the water from here just to cross the road. It is the impact of climate change. Deforestation and health hazard, lot of sicknesses will be in the community. But if the children grow knowing that keeping the environment clean is the best approach, they will not depart from that knowledge.
Wama Gabo there speaking. Meanwhile, Madam Gabo is calling on government to establish useful regulations for the effective supervision of disposal of garbages in wetland areas across the country.
Liberia, with change in mind and attitudes, we should first start with the little children who will grow up knowing that their attitude toward their environment can build the nation's economy or reduce it. We also want everyone who's environmentalists, conservationists, good city mayors, and policy makers in the future, it will be prudent to start impacting the young ones with that knowledge now. When they have grown up, the knowledge will not depart from them, and they will apply it to their work of life. Looking at our environment today, you people can bear me with me. With piles of garbage on street corners, it creates fear for the future of these young ones, whom the others also use to create these hazards. To effectively change, it's crucial to engage children in the process of environmental transformation.
She's the executive director of the civil society organization named Hope for That's Natural Kate, Wama Gabo. A social media influencer, Yemapuma Opa Yezie, known as Prophet Key, has described Liberia as a nation of being corrupt. According to him, if corruption must come to an end in the country, the citizens themselves must come down to demonstrate sincerely in doing what is best in the interest of the country. He spoke on a True Breakfast show on Monday, September 2, 2024.
Mr. Lee, everything I did has been authenticated by the Oracle. You can't, how you call it, Nigeria having supplementary payroll. Supplementary is only one. So all the things I say, I was speaking to criminals. You saw that person who causing people. Where is Senator? The finance minister. How can I get? Creating his own payroll. The government doesn't know that. It was an in-house payroll. Those were the things I was talking. And I was insulting people because they are criminals. And that person who causing people, they only deserve better. They are great to know this. I'm not giving shit in my country. Everybody corrupt in the country. The whole country. The whole country corrupt. The whole country corrupt. The whole country corrupt. The newspaper don't care as a major headline. The whole country. This is the whole country corrupt. You have to work on every sector in this country. They tell you to wear helmet. Now the people, you see some people wearing helmets, supposed to wear helmet. That's for the rich and for the own life. If you give a helmet to your passengers, what about you? In case of anything, what about you? So the whole country is corrupt. It's not only the government official. Corruption can grow. First of all, we have to know the country corrupt, and we have to fight against it. Everybody, because you have to know the fact before you solve the problem. Everybody needs to be sincere and fight the law in this country. Everybody needs to do what is right. Everybody should not so watching them, and they need to do what is right. Everybody knows right, and do what is right, and see it, and put in everything in time. You just got one right. So even leave your behavior in time. You need to put in time and change the country together. Every day there's a lot of news. And I know if you're not have for me, you're on social media. You're every day in the country there's a news. And most of the news are negative news. And I'm not saying out there because they lie. Now, don't lie easily. That has done my way. But I'm giving information circuit for you. There are people, they don't lie easily. They don't know news.
That was the voice of social media influencer Neya Poma Opa Yezien, known as Prophet K, speaking there against corruption in Liberia. The city mayor of Tottenburg City in Bomi County, Mohammed Sharif, has sent to court several residents and business people for what he termed as refusal to adhere to city ordinance. Here is our Bomi County correspondent, Solomon Joe, with the rest of the story.
Well, the reason is that they were in violation of city ordinance. The city mayor or the city corporation is through with the responsibility to clean and to gather garbage and dispose the garbage properly. So when the Tottenburg City, the community and the residents and business people, they were supposed to pay $100 per week. They just pass the garbage to their home, to their business area. Then the city corporation will come and collect the garbage and dispose the garbage. But they refuse to pay the $100. Against this backdrop, this is why the city mayor took several residents and business people to the city court of Monrovia. While some of the residents and business people say that this is not moving as compared to before, and the residents are saying they are not having money and to pay $100. Yes, because the reneging of the $100 payment is hampering the operation of the city corporation, because they have tricycles, they have to buy gas to put the gas in the tricycle to collect the garbage around and dispose the garbage properly. So it makes you to know that because of the refusal of the people and the packing garbage around their homes and around their business area, when they reinforce, they spread the garbage all around the city and in the community. So the local, the city mayor look and say, well, we can sit here and see the kind of thing. And the city mayor who said city ordinance section 4 talking about garbage collection and disposal. And section 4.1 says penalty against the refusal of people that will do such things. He said that anyone who violates that provision upon conviction before the city court shall be subjected to pay the fine of not less than 500.
That was the voice of our Bomi County correspondent, Solomon Joe. Well, listeners, that's how we like to come to the end of this morning midweek edition of Blaze News Point. But before we go, let's recap major stories we've been looking at. Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia, Santal, raises concerns over President Joseph Boakai's recent appointment. Internal Affairs Minister Francis Nyumani holds a bidding process initiated by the Grand Bassa County Administration regarding the sale of stockpile of iron ore near the port city of Buchanan. Liberia National Police LMP arrests a 28-year-old journalist for illegally possessing of firearm in Monrovia, and at least 129 killed and several wounded in an attempt by inmates to break out of a high-security prison in Kinshasa, the Democratic Republic of Congo. Many thanks to you, the listeners, for playing your listening role, and also to our writers, reporters, editors, directors, and our managerial team for making this edition a success. Stephen Talley was here with the Bulletin of News and the Passion of Life Sport. Clifton Rennie, Sada Controls, coordinator and produce the sound effect. I've been Valentine Colley presenting this portion of Blaze News. You can have yourself a good day. I'm out.